Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're diving into Crawlpilot.
Crawlpilot.
Yeah. This project's using Google's Gemini 1.5 model,
Okay.
and it's really changing how we think about getting data from websites and automating things. We're
Interesting.
talking about
So traditional approaches to web scraping and automation,
Right.
they're really fragile,
Yeah.
They rely so heavily on the specific structure of a website, which,
Right.
as we all know, can change all the time.
Yeah.
This constant evolution leads to broken scripts
Yeah.
and a lot of manual work for developers.
It's so frustrating
Yeah.
when you spend hours crafting the perfect web scraping setup
I know.
only to have it break because like a button's ID changed or
Yeah.
the website got redesigned or something.
Yeah.
How does Crawlpilot even begin to solve this problem?
Well, Crawlpilot uses the power of Gemini 1.5,
Okay.
which is a large language model with an amazing ability to process information.
Okay.
One of the key features of Gemini 1.5
Okay.
is its huge context window,
Okay.
which can handle up to 2 million tokens at once.
Wow, 2 million.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
like processing a whole novel in one go.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how does this giant context window actually help with web scraping and automation?
So it allows Gemini 1.5 to understand the entire context of a web page in one pass.
Okay.
Instead of analyzing the code like line by line, it
Okay.
can see the whole picture at once.
Right.
It can grasp the relationships between all the different elements
Okay.
and figure out their purpose.
Okay.
This is essential for getting accurate data
Yeah.
and for making automation workflows that are less likely to break.
This is where it starts to get really interesting.
Yeah.
One of the parts of Crawlpilot is called ScrapeFree,
ScrapeFree.
and it lets you extract data from websites.
Free uses Gemini 1.5's ability to process and understand a ton of text. You feed it the raw HTML of a web page,
Okay.
and Gemini uses its massive context window to analyze the structure in one go.
Okay.
It figures out which pieces have the data you want,
Okay.
and then extracts it in a structured format like JSON or CSV.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But websites come in all shapes and sizes.
Right.
So how do we know that ScrapeFree can really handle the complexity of real-world websites?
To test ScrapeFree, they made a fake e-commerce website called PikaShop.
Oh, cool.
It was designed to be like a real test for Crawlpilot.
Okay.
It has 100 pages,
Okay.
each with over 100 products.
Wow.
With the details like product names, descriptions, prices, reference IDs. Wow.
Even things like buttons and input fields.
Okay, so they threw this massive website at Gemini,
Yeah.
and it just knew how to extract the data.
Pretty much.
That's amazing.
Gemini parsed the entire HTML structure,
Wow.
understood how all the different elements were connected,
Okay.
and then extracted the data in a clean and organized format.
And they didn't stop there.
No.
They actually compared Gemini's output to the real data on the HTML pages.
That's right.
To check if it was accurate.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was a really thorough process.
So what were the results?
The results were really good.
Okay.
They showed that Gemini's output and the actual data were very similar.
Okay.
This gave them confidence that ScrapeFree could handle complex websites
Yeah.
without losing accuracy.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But what happens when those website updates happen?
Oh.
Does everything just break?
That's where Monitron comes in.
Okay.
It's the other important part of Crawlpilot.
Okay.
It's designed to give your automation workflows self-healing powers. Self-healing automation workflows.
Yeah. So they can adapt to website changes and keep running smoothly.
This is starting to sound really futuristic.
I know, right?
How does Monitron actually do this?
It uses Gemini 1.5's ability to compare different versions of a website
Okay.
and see what's changed.
Okay.
Let's say you have a script that logs into PikaShop,
Okay.
goes to a product page,
Okay.
and extracts some information.
Okay.
Now, let's say the people who made PikaShop decide to change some key parts of the website,
Yeah.
like the element IDs or classes.
Yeah.
Usually this would break your script.
Yep. Been there.
Yeah,
Many.
many times. So Monitron takes the old and new versions of the web pages
Yep.
and feeds them to Gemini.
Okay.
Gemini uses its massive context window
Okay.
to compare the two versions
Okay.
and finds exactly what's changed.
Okay.
But it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
It also figures out why those changes are causing problems for your script.
So it's not just looking at lines of code that have changed. It's really understanding how those changes affect the script's ability to work with the website.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And once it knows why the script's broken,
Okay.
Monitron suggests specific fixes to the script's configuration file.